G'day, and welcome back to the garage. On the last episode of the RM125 build, the frame was repainted using only spray cans. And in this episode, the engine will be made to look worthy of installation into that newly painted frame. Let's get started. So I'm pretty sure that this engine is internally in good condition. It runs well and it's quite fast. And the previous owner also mentioned a recent rebuild, but I've heard that before. But first, it's time for the engine to take a bath in the parts washer. With the engine cleaned up, the side covers can be removed in preparation for recoating. Removing the clutch cover reveals a new looking aftermarket clutch basket. So maybe that previous owner was right. With all of the covers removed and disassembled, the existing paint is removed in the sandblaster. The ignition cover has some corrosion, typical of magnesium parts of this age. In this case though, it doesn't affect the part's performance. The covers are going to be recoated using the Cerakote product. This is a hard-wearing ceramic style coating that is perfect for parts like these. And the first step in the process is to soak the parts in acetone to remove any surface dirt and grease. After the gasket surface are masked off, the part then spends some time in the oven. If there's any grease or contaminants on the part, this will bring them to the surface. The Cerakote is a two-part mix. The ratio of the two parts determines the end finish, and in this case, I'm mixing for a gloss result. After a few light coats, the part is baked in the oven for an hour at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And the result is a tough, thin coating that should look good for a long time. With the silver clutch cover complete, the rest of the parts are also coated, this time in gloss black to contrast with the rest of the engine. Before the newly coated parts can be installed, new gaskets are required. I didn't have any on the day I wanted to complete the assembly, so I had to make some. And it's a relatively straightforward process. You just trace out the part, punch the holes, and cut out the gasket. You just need to take your time, otherwise you can ruin the gasket, as you'll see in a second. With the gaskets made, the assembly can begin, using newly zinc plated bolts. With the bottom end completed, the top end now looks a little bit tired. So removing the cylinder to freshen up the covers is a good opportunity to check on the condition of the engine. With the cylinder off, it reveals a top end that's in great condition. The piston and cylinder look nearly new, and there looks to have been some serious port work done as well. Rather than paint or Cerakote the power valve covers, I decided to polish them to a mirror finish, just for something different. Just like the rest of the engine, the cylinder head is also in great condition. So after a quick clean, it is also coated in gloss black. And the last piece of this episode is the reed valve. When I purchased this bike, it came with a bunch of parts, including this new V-Force reed valve. Although it looks like the standard reeds have been upgraded already, I'll change them out for this V-Force setup instead. So there you have it. After a few hours work and not much money spent, this engine is ready to be fitted to the newly painted frame. Thanks for watching, see you next time.